beat up in the Middle East again?
Actually, I thought a lot about it. I'm not kidding. I really am not.
What time does it start?
I know. Well, not as our normal ones. Yeah, 7. I know.
Inside or outside?
Inside. Now you're making me regret it.
I'm just spinning.
This regular meeting of the Independent School District 535 School Board is called to order at 5:30 p.m. on Tuesday, June 18, 2024, in room 137 of the Edison Building. The board acknowledges this site and all RPS sites are situated on the ancestral land of the Dakota people, and we honor the Dakota nations and the sacred land of all indigenous peoples. Present at this meeting are school board members, Superintendent Kent McCall, a non-voting ex officio member, and Assistant School Board Clerk, Ms. Lori Sam. Ms. Sam, would you please call the roll?
Director Barlow.
Here.
Director Cook.
Here.
Director Garcia.
Here.
Clerk McLaughlin.
Here.
Treasurer Martin.
Here.
Karen Higgins.
Here.
Vice Chair Wilson. Here.
At this time, we offer the opportunity to say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 2.1 is approval of the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda? Second. It has been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The agenda has been approved. The agenda and documents for this meeting are available online at rochesterschools.org/assembly. Comments to the board. It is important for the school board to hear from our stakeholders regarding issues that impact our students, staff, families, and schools. We welcome communication via email, phone call, at our community engagement listening sessions, and here during comments to the board. The purpose of comments to the board is to give community members an opportunity to provide input directly to the school board about issues that fall within our authority. The board and superintendent do not respond directly to the speaker's comments during the meeting, but may follow up with the speaker if requested and appropriate. Persons who want to make comments to the board must fill out the online form by 5 p.m. on the Monday before the school board meeting to sign up for a time slot. The form is available on the RPS website and on the Assembly main page. A reminder that Policy 206 and Procedure 206A set the time, place, and manner, procedures, and restrictions on comments to the board. By participating in the public comment period, each speaker agrees to abide by this public comment procedure. Should a speaker or meeting attendee display any of the prohibited conduct, the school board chair will call the person out of order. If the speaker or attendee persists in the conduct, they will be required to leave the meeting. Failure to abide by these rules could forfeit the speaker's right to participate in comments to the board at future meetings. Speakers, when your name is called, please come to this table. If you have written materials for the board, please provide them to the assistant school board clerk prior to your remarks, and she will distribute them to board members. Choose a microphone to speak into and be seated. Please direct your remarks to the school board. You will have 3 minutes to speak, and the timer will be displayed right here in front of me. Please begin your remarks by stating your name. Our first speaker this evening is Danielle Teal.
Hi, I'm Danielle Teal. Thank you for the opportunity to share in public comments Superintendent Dr. Capel, Chair Nathan, and the school board members and attendees here today. My name is Danielle Teal. I'm a kindness advocate, community member, and a proud single parent of 2 daughters, one who has successfully launched from high school with an excellent experience overall at John Marshall High School, with scholarly grades, but most importantly, a kind character. A heartfelt thank you to all her teachers, Principal Ruzick, for their wonderful support through her journey. And my other daughter, who has just finished her elementary school with an impactful positive experience at Elton Hills Elementary School, a school that has become a battleground for a perception that captures a lack of inclusion and negativity that I do not agree with. As a kindness advocate, I have learned so much over the years on what kindness truly means. There's a difference between being nice and being kind. Being nice, and I think we can all attest to this, the Minnesota Nice illusion, where we give this facade of considering another person's well-being, but our actions do not contribute to it. Being kind means we not only consider another person's well-being, but we also take action, advocacy. Supporting our children and their journey through life should be a paramount priority. And sometimes that means setting aside our own group identity theme and belief system and delivering the best, most equitable, inclusive support for the child's whole self through their journey in school. As someone who was sheltered homeless as a teen and didn't have familial support, I can attest that it was my teachers and friends who were truly advocates for my journey and overall well-being. I am deeply disturbed that Elton Hills Elementary, the teachers and staff have been misrepresented by a group's targeted agenda that detracts from the beautifully inclusive, compassionate, and kind adults my daughter and I have crossed paths with. Mr. Willman, principal at Elton Hills, has been nothing short of a servant leader, emphasizing the importance of a diverse and supportive school environment that is safe and secure for our children. My daughter's kindergarten teacher, when she started Miss Stoffel, was the best person in my path the first day I dropped her off, showing compassion, support, a welcoming culture where she felt she could be herself. Our experience with Elton Hills has been nothing short of exceptional, and that includes the staff and teachers and community. They role model all the attributes I've shared and much more. As adults, it is imperative that we create spaces where all of our children feel they have a safe and welcoming, inclusive environment that they can go to. In fact, sometimes it is the safest place for them to be at. Not everyone has the luxury of an accepting, safe home. I can attest to this from my own childhood. That's okay.
Can you send the rest of your remarks to us?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Speaker number 2 this evening is Jim Rice.
Greetings. I stand here today to urge you to pause and not support the proposed procedure 413A. Instead, I ask you to examine the potential unintended consequences of your actions around this procedure. Why? First, let me be very clear. I have nothing but love for students who are experiencing gender confusion. It is crazy, mixed up, social media-driven world. And my heart goes out to all those students struggling with gender identity, depression, related psychological maladies. I stand before you because of my love for children, and this is why I believe that proceeding with the procedure will make students' lives worse. You run the risk of causing psychological and physiological damage to students who identify with their biological sex. You will also be furthering greater gender confusion, in my opinion, in those students already struggling. So very simply, I ask, are you willing to accept the risk of unknown psychological and physiological consequences of exposing a majority of your students, those who identify with their biological sex, to students of the opposite biological sex in settings such as restrooms and locker rooms? Can you imagine downstream legal and financial blowback to you and the district if you ignore what has been reported in terms of misadventures in other school systems? Physical abuse, including rape, resulting from practices reflected in this procedure, have been reported. And what about the growing list of scientific, medical, and legal challenges that have surfaced since the beginning just this year? The CAST report published in April, medical groups challenging current affirmative care practices, legal challenges. I think it's upwards to 10 states now are trying to block the implementation of the revised Title IX. So in view of all these reports and challenges, does enacting this procedure make sense? It does not. So please focus your energies on resources and procedures that impact all students equally, and not just a few at the expense of the majority. Do not require or imply that students of the opposite biological sex share locker rooms or traditional stall bathrooms. Consider focusing on improving the privacy for all students in restrooms and locker rooms. It just makes common sense. Doing otherwise is just nuts in a lot of people's minds. So why not spend our precious resources on helping address the root cause of much of gender confusion, depression, and other psychological maladies being experienced by young students and teens? Why not follow the Surgeon General's lead, as reported just days ago, and focus on solving the root problem, which is teen addiction to social media? Wouldn't it be great if we could all come together and unify, rather than divide, to solve the real problem here? Let's work together on this one.
Time's expired. Could you send us the rest of your comments later?
Just 1 second. Equal versus unity. Thank you.
Next item on our agenda is an information and outreach, 4.1 retirement recognitions. Prior to the meeting tonight, we had a wonderful reception for some of the RPS teachers and staff who are retiring this year. They total 78 retirees, and they represent 1,502 hours of years of service. We had some lovely conversations with them where they shared some of their fondest memories of students and experiences. And as the superintendent said during our event, we wish all of you could hear how they spoke about our students and their relationship with them. And it was just so evident that their legacy and the contributions that they made are going to live on, not only in the students' impact, but with their colleagues.